Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Karibu Your Excellency.
It looks like President William Ruto is about to light the fuse on a powder keg that would blow up in his face. Forget the usual chatter about corruption. This time, he is dabbling in a move that will transform the National Youth Service (NYS) into a new breed of disciplined recruits armed with something a little more intense than brooms and spades. Firearm knowledge.
Let me also say that the minister responsible for National Youth Service, who is here with me, should, in consultation with the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Interior, further the initiative to make sure that the paramilitary training that these young men and women go through will include a basic course in firearms to make sure that they stand ready to protect the country when the need arises.
During the 88th pass-out parade at NYS in Gilgil, Nakuru County, the president dropped a bombshell that has left Kenyans scratching their heads, and not in a good way. The announcement has sparked fears that Ruto might unintentionally be setting the stage for a Kenya rerun of El Salvador's gang-fueled chaos. Just imagine a country where those trained in the art of warfare are left idle, jobless, and frustrated. A recipe for disaster, many would say. Now, the last thing anyone wants is for Kenya to veer into becoming a police state, or worse, a breeding ground for militias.
Ni wakati wa kiapo cha utii ambako tutaongozwa na wakuu wa madhehebu yetu. Karibuni.
Now, for those unfamiliar with the NYS training regimen, it's not for the faint-hearted. These recruits endure a grueling 9 months boot camp, blending both mental and physical torture. I mean, training that rivals what our military and paramilitary forces go through. Picture this, over 500 recruits graduate every year, and while some manage to snag a spot in the Kenya Police or the KDF or similar roles, many are left cooling their heels, jobless and disillusioned. Let's rewind to September 2023, when Kenyans witnessed a scene straight out of a dystopian drama. During a KDF recruitment drive in Utawala, only 350 spots were up for grabs. Yet, over 3,000 NYS graduates turned up, desperate for a chance. Simple maths tells us that 2,650 went home empty-handed, their dreams dashed, and their training potentially a ticking time bomb. With Kenya's unemployment rate for youths hovering at a staggering 67% and NYS graduates adding to the statistics, the question looms: what happens when a frustrated, unemployed, firearm-savvy group decides they have had enough? The whispers of a potential militia doesn't seem far-fetched anymore. Ruto keeps getting everything wrong. Most of these recruits are never absorbed into formal employment, so releasing them with firearm skills is a dangerous undertaking. Train them on skills which can be useful to them outside the security forces. This will be a militia. How do you train people on the use of firearms and release them with no jobs? This will lead to increase in crime. At times, I wonder whether there are consultations done before such public pronouncements are made. Train and release them. That's how gangs and cartels begin, South American style. The president isn't just stopping at a few thousand recruits. No, he is pushing for over 20,000 new recruits in the next NYS intake.
On the numbers, as I have directed, that the next recruitment will have 20,000 recruits. I have today approved the recruitment of 200 additional cadet officers into the NYS and 500 private officers to support in the exemplary work that is going on at the National Youth Service. Let me also say that looking forward, the government will continue to support the National Youth Service as a critical driver of national youth empowerment and a reliable partner in national development initiatives. Our commitment to providing enhanced training, imparting competitive skills, expanding commercial ventures, and promoting sustainable practice is stronger and more urgent than ever. And as a result, we will also be expanding the facilities in the National Youth Service. I have already instructed the Ministry of Housing to provide additional hostels to house 3,000 extra recruits at the National Youth Service, and to also develop housing for staff at the National Youth Service as they do for all the other services. I want to encourage the graduating class.
But does Kenya even have the capacity to handle such a massive recruitment? And more importantly, what happens when these thousands of graduates return home jobless to a government that's already admitted that there are no jobs?
I've told you, we want to be, I'm an honest man. I'm an honest man. I don't want to sit here and lie to you that we have jobs for you. These jobs we are going to create together with you.
In the end, Kenyans have warned President Ruto that he might be just playing with fire, and if he's not careful, he could get burned.